Good afternoon. It is September 1st, 2025. My name is Paul, and I'm 50 years old. Been 50 years old for a few days now. Right now, just at one of the state parks very close to my house. Just get to look out on the sound. Pretty damn peaceful and gorgeous. This last week has been something. Been running away from my thoughts and my emotions just about every day. Turning 50 is kind of a big deal. This last week I also completed my legal name change in most of the important places that where I had left to do. God, I don't even know what I mentioned or what I didn't mention. I know I mentioned I got married earlier this year. Don't have any close family, especially associated with my last name. And my wife is very connected to hers. So I said I'd change my last name. And in doing so, I went ahead and changed my middle name too, because I had the most boring name ever. And my previous name was Paul Michael Smith, a name I had for almost my whole life. And I was born a different name, but I was adopted at 10 months old. So at 10 months old, I was Paul Michael Smith. Nice and short and boring, and always wanted a better name than that. And so now that I changed my name to hers, I also didn't want to keep Paul Michael and then her last name. And in addition to that, there's already one of those. One of her cousins is Paul Michael. And so changed my middle name also. So when you do that, it's a lot more paperwork to do than just changing your last name when you get married. But I completed just about all of that last week. The rest I can do through the mail or through email. And now, last week I turned 50, got a new last name. A couple days from now, my daughter turns 21. Had family in to visit over the weekend. It's just a lot going on. And predictably, I didn't do the vlog. I didn't take time out away from distractions. I ate extremely poorly. And I wish that wasn't the case. I wish I could make these healthier decisions during the harder times. But, decades of coping mechanisms built up. So I'm going to try to slowly change them. So here we are again. Kind of once I realized how much I was distracting myself, how much I was indulging, I kind of wanted to set a limit for it just so that I could possibly stop and have a new beginning. And today is September 1st. And back in the old days, about every 6 months, I would do some type of huge challenge. I'm not going to do this for 30 days. I'm not going to do that for 60 days. I'm going to stop this forever. And those are very unsuccessful the vast majority of the time. But we're starting again. I'm trying to make it as realistic as possible, but hopefully with some deeper meaning behind it, not just being mad at myself, trying to punish myself for the things I've done wrong. So now I'm going to try to do some healthier things starting for this whole month in hopes to start making new habits so I can live longer and healthier and more comfortably, which is hopefully a more positive reason for doing these things, which would hopefully give me better results. That's the goal anyways. Man, just thinking back on all of them, I would do so good, and then I'd fail so hard, and then feel so bad about it, and then go down in the spiral like most people do. Just the amount of times I've done the same thing over and over, and just hoping it would be successful the next time. It's a little disconcerting. It makes you want to not try anymore, even with different approaches and different reasonings and everything else. But one of the people that we had visiting from out of town this weekend, she's a bit older than me. She's going through a very hard time, very hard transition, some depression. And I've gone through that many times. 5 years, the most recent time, where I had a just complete death of myself. I had to completely reinvent everything about myself to decide whether I wanted to be here anymore. And that's what she's been going through for a while. So just talking with her, telling her about my experiences and the things that worked and I'm not at that place now, but I am at a place where I am trying to change things, trying to start over in certain ways without all the dramatic happenings, trying to avoid those. So I need to take my own advice. And so today I'm here. It is a holiday, so I have off work, which was never the case my whole life until a couple of years ago. But I have the day off today. So spent the morning having some breakfast with my wife and talking with her on our wonderful deck of our new house. Then picked up around the house. Had a little healthy distraction with Minecraft for a little while, so I'll just set a time limit on it. Watch some things about a fantasy football draft that I'm going to do later, which is something I enjoy and I can be involved with without getting too in depth with and getting too distracted. So I did that for a couple of hours, and if it was a couple days ago or if I wasn't being mindful, I would just stay in that room until my draft at 5 p.m. and I would just be there for another 3, 4, 5 hours and not come out and not think about life and not disconnect from online and connect to the world. But that leads to other choices that are not healthy and that I'm not happy with later on. So here I am, out in the world and in the park, enjoying something that I enjoy. Just some nice peace, some nature. Way too many people because it's a holiday and a nice day. Did I mention I'm an introvert? And it's embarrassing a little bit to be vlogging and talking about myself and hearing people walk by and see it or hear it. But that's okay. It's important. It's important that I do it. It's important that I do it when it's a little uncomfortable. It's important that I think about where I am. And I'm guessing most of these are pretty unscripted and lack of directional, but it just feels even more so. But today is day one. Right before I started this, I did a nice little meditation on this at this little bench here. And I was looking back at the app. The most days consecutively I've ever meditated was 18, and that seems preposterous. Why only 18 days? It takes 10 minutes of doing nothing, and it helps you a lot. Yeah, the fact that it's 18 days, which seems about right, because I can make it a week and just about any of my challenges. I can make it 2 weeks, and then after that, yeah, it gets really easy to get distracted, to find a reason, something comes up, to go back to your old habits. So 18 days actually seems about right, but man, does that seem like I should be able to do more than that. So we'll find out. Here's day one. I'll talk to you in 18 days, see if I've actually meditated 19 days in a row. But I've had my share of hardships and my share of trauma, my share of pain in this life, but especially this chapter of my life, I am so amazingly grateful for and so lucky and so fortunate. I have pretty much everything I could have ever wanted right now, except for $1 million in the bank. That'd be cool. But besides that, while it may not last, I am healthy right now. I have my health. I don't get sick. I can move. I can do just about everything I used to do within reason. I'm not 20 anymore. I can't run. I can't work 3 jobs. But I can work my job. I can clean up around the house. I can move around. I can walk the dog every day. I can do all the basic things in life without pain, with little discomfort. But discomfort I'm very used to from being over 300 pounds. But I'm healthy. I have an amazing wife who loves me, who knows me enough to love me. The only person I've ever shown all of myself to. I have a gorgeous house. I have every bill paid in this world. I don't owe anybody anything except for my mortgage now. I have money in the bank. I have a job that I really like, a job where my boss really appreciates me. A job that's 7 minutes away from my house that I'm pretty good at and that I actually enjoy most of the time. My daughter, I have as decent a relationship as I can with her. I've been trained so much for these all or nothing relationships and to be abandoned and to abandon, and I've avoided that. We don't have a relationship as close as I would like it to be, but it's good. I'm comfortable. I'm in a safe place. I have everything I could want. I'm very happy. I'm very satisfied. And I won't be on this planet forever. When I'm gone, I'm just going to be so thankful that I have this chapter of my life. I never thought I'd have it. I knew somewhere subconsciously I was doing the wrong things to ever get a life like this with a relationship like I have and the job like I have. But after going through the divorce that I went through, I had to come to a lot of reckonings and be really honest about a lot of things. And that was hard. And important. Especially for me. I have a giant need for honesty and self-honesty and self-reflection because I don't have people in my life. So if I don't do it, it can get out of out of control. Sounds weird. But if I don't be very self-critical and self-honest for real, then no one's going to do it for me. I have no support system there to say, hey, you sure you're doing this? You sure you're doing that? You sure about this being true? Don't have any of it, so I have to be very self-critical and really question what I'm doing and why I'm doing it on my own. I didn't do that for quite a while for some things, especially when it came to relationships and jobs. But now I do. And it has been absolutely beautiful. And it feels almost burdensome to have this good relationship and to have this good life. Because I can't just throw this away. It's so rare. I can't just throw it away. So I have to keep it, I have to work on it. And I can't just run away and escape and abandon or be abandoned without it being a gigantic loss. For real, a gigantic loss. Not just a gigantic loss of my ego and what I thought I had. This is real, this is really good. I have to keep it and work on it. Because if this goes away, that'd be bad, that'd be a rough loss. But it won't. It's not going to. And I'm lucky I have it, and I'm so thankful I have this. I can literally die happy now. I can die knowing that I was loved. My whole self was loved. That I love. Knowing that I was successful in work. I was successful in my marriage. I was able to support someone in a healthy way. I was able to ask for support. And why can I now die happy now that I've had those things? Because those are the things that matter. Our connection with people in different ways, in different amounts for different people, I think is really what this life is about, is our connections. Our connections with people, our connections with places, like real connections. That's all. That's the only thing that matters. And I never really had it because I never allowed myself to. I never opened myself up to it because it's too dangerous. Rejection was too likely, so I couldn't do it. But I've done it. And I got lucky. And I earned it. And I got lucky. And today is a good day. September 1st, 2025. It's a good day. And I'm only doing this vlog for less than a year now. So, this year is going to fly by. And what is going to be at the end of that year? Am I going to be the exact same person? You have the same thoughts, the same body, the same health? Am I going to be able to improve on all those? Well, that is the goal. Stick around for next episode of How Long is a Year? Thank you. Thank you for my therapy session. I think I needed it today.